Hi, welcome to the SilverStar Forest. My name is Kristen and I am the Witch of SilverStar Forest, and I am so glad that you are here. I've been promising for a while that I was going to talk about my spiritual journey, and so much has happened since I started my craft. Oh gosh, it's been almost 9 months now. I'm 52 years old now, so there was a lot leading up to this point. So in this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my background and how I found witchcraft, the different religions and phases that I've been through, and why I finally feel like I've found my home. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I still live here. I grew up in a home that I would say is Christian, was Christian, but we didn't attend church regularly at all. We didn't even do Christmas services or Easter, anything like that, unless we went with a friend. My parts of my family went to church every Sunday. Of course, we did all the family weddings in churches except for mine. But there was no real regularity to prayer or reading the Bible or anything that I would say has had any kind of staying power for me. I remember when a friend's dog got hit by a car and my mom wanted to pray about it. I remember instances like that we prayed together for something, but no prayers before meals, no did you read your Bible today? Nothing like that. So I grew up mostly with my mom. My parents divorced when I was 8 years old, and so the time from I was 8 until 14, I lived with my mom and my younger brother. My mom is very open-minded, and it was a conscious decision on my parents' part not to force a religion on us, which I'm really appreciative of. We really didn't have any boundaries as to what we could explore, what if we wanted to go to church, what kind of church it was. There wasn't anything like that from either of my parents, who did a great job of co-parenting back in the 70s and 80s when it wasn't common to do that. My first, I would say, regular church activity was in junior high. I had a friend who attended a Presbyterian church, and they had a youth group, which was really super fun. So I started getting involved in the youth group, which then started me going to church most Sundays. So junior high, you're what, 12 years old? But it was more of a social event for me. I didn't, at that point, there wasn't any real desire to study or learn any more about the Bible or the teachings. I absolutely did, in youth group and Sunday school and things like that, but nothing that really touched me as, wow, this is where I'm meant to be, this is what I'm about. We had a fabulously fun youth group leader. There were boys that I had crushes on. So generally, it was a social event. Some point in high school, I think probably my sophomore year, a lot of the seniors had graduated from our youth group, gone off to college, went, started jobs. If they weren't in high school, they couldn't be in the youth group anymore anyway. People started getting busy with school activities, so I just kind of stopped going, and it wasn't that I felt a real connection anymore once the people that I really, that's Pete, once I, really looked at it, there wasn't anything keeping me there. I got married the first time at 18. My now ex-husband went to Germany with the army. I went to church a little bit with a friend. It was a Foursquare church at that time, so we're still talking 30 years ago. But I did feel some connection there. The music was uplifting. It wasn't necessarily all the hymns and things like that. I was connecting to the music more, which music has been a huge part of my life always. So from about the age of 22 until maybe my mid 30s, I occasionally went to church, go to church with family. I would go with a friend. I had kids by now, and I didn't, same thing, I didn't encourage or discourage any church or religious activities for them. My daughter got involved with a small church that I think really fit her well. I would say today I still believe in God, but I don't believe in just God. I believe in gods and goddesses and angels and spirit guides in the universe. So I will still sit down with my 25-year-old daughter and say a prayer. But she'll also sit down with me and do a full moon ritual. So being open to all the possibilities, I think, is where I landed now. The last 4 years have been challenging spiritually, I think. Certainly to Christianity and formalized religion, I would say. I believe in humanity. I believe that the LGBTQ community deserves all the rights of every other human being to love who they want, to worship how they want or not, to work where they want, to be in the body they believe they were born to be in. I believe in a woman's right to choose. I believe in the death penalty in certain cases. I just think that there's too much bias. I believe that Christianity in general can be so judgmental and keeping people in or out because of who they love, because the color of their skin, because of where they grew up. I just don't believe in that. I believe in everyone. So I grew up thinking that, and until very recently, that witchcraft was not that it was evil, but I didn't understand how spiritual it is. I didn't understand until I started studying 8 months ago how open the witchcraft community is, for the most part. Accepting of all religions, of all sexuality, of all colors, of all everybody. It's about connecting with the earth and the magic that lives in our reality. Funny enough, it was a subscription box that was a gift that started my journey into witchcraft. I got the Goddess Provisions subscription box as a gift from my mom for maybe my birthday in 2020. And they had I think it was a divination box right about July or August. And if you haven't seen my mundane YouTube channel, I'll link that down below and put it here. I started unboxing it there. And then as I ventured further, as I explored reading runes and pendulums and tarot cards, everything kept leading me back to witchcraft. And it seemed like such a weird place for me to end up, but it's the right place. It's a community, for the most part, of such open and caring people that I just want to surround myself with that energy all the time. Does that mean that witches don't have bad days? Of course they have bad days. Does it mean that witches don't have mental health issues? Of course it doesn't mean that. Just like every other community, you've got your good and your bad, but I created a whole new community for myself as I got further into witchcraft and into my craft. And I'll talk about what I've done up to this point in another video, because I think for beginners or people exploring, it seems mysterious for one thing, and it seems like it could be hard, and it seems like it's complicated and so many rules, when it's exactly the opposite. There aren't rules to witchcraft. There are suggestions, there are correspondences, there are ideas, but it's a craft. You learn things and you make things and you your magic comes alive in you because of what you're learning. And to me, as a crafter, has been phenomenal. I get to create stuff that is magic all the time, from simple magic things to complicated spells and rituals that I love the creative aspect of it. So if you're looking, if you're experimenting, witchcraft is not evil. It's connecting with the earth. It's connecting with the plants and the animals and the moon phases and the directions and the air. It's been amazing to me, and I've found so many other witches on YouTube, which led me to Instagram witches, that are just so full of positivity and light, but also exploring your own darkness. What is it about you that's still wounded that you can heal with your magic? So that's how I got here. That's how I became a witch 9 months ago. And it, in ways, has really changed my life. Not just the magic, but how there's so much to learn. And it got me reading, and it got me experimenting. And I'm just so grateful. I really, really am. So do your own research. I hope if you stumbled upon this video that it was in some way helpful for you. I plan on getting a video out about my journey every week, but look for 2 a month. We live in the forest. Give you another peek. So our internet is crap. So I have to go a long way away to get my videos uploaded. So it can be sometimes a couple weeks and sometimes a month, but I really, really want to get on a good schedule, so I can be helpful to anyone exploring. I would love to hear the stories of your journeys. Where are you now? What are you thinking about? What are you crafting? If you have any questions, feel free to post them down below. I'm pretty much an open book. I will say, if you don't have anything nice to say, just move on to the next video, because that's not what I'm about here. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. This is a super safe place. I accept and love you as you are. And I hope you'll hit the subscribe button and the like button so we can keep this conversation going. Thank you.